This is Entrepreneur Radio, maximizing your personal and business results by leading with your heart. With your host, Terri Levine. Listen every week as Terri tackles the topics that will help you become a successful heart-centered entrepreneur. Be sure to read the blog posts at www.heartrepreneur.com/blog. Come back often and add this show to your favorite RSS feed or subscribe in iTunes. You can also follow Terri on Twitter at MentorTerri and on Facebook.com/Heartrepreneur Terri Levine. And now here's Terri.
Hello and welcome to Heartrepreneur Radio and TV show with Terri Levine. I'm your co-host, Velma Gallant, and I'm excited to be here today. You can connect with me, Terri, and other like-minded heart-based business owners at the Heartrepreneurs with Terri Levine Facebook group, so go check it out. And if you find value in this show, please hit that subscribe button, like the show, and we always love those 5-star reviews. Today's quote: "The questions you ask are more important than the things you could ever say." Thomas Freeze. Today's show topic is transformational selling. Our special guest this week is WendyY Bailey. If you're an entrepreneur, you're in the business of marketing and selling. While that can seem daunting, today's guest has been coaching her clients for more than 19 years on the concept of transformational selling. Get ready to discover how to put your mindset in your marketing and sell with authenticity and confidence. Please join me in welcoming Master Business and Sales Coach, WendyY Bailey. Welcome to the show, WendyY.
Thank you so much, Velma. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm excited to learn a little bit more from you. I'm a lifetime learner. I will always be learning because I know there's something else to learn always, even if I think I know. I'm curious as to what you mean by transformational selling.
Well, transformational selling, it's a great question because most people don't think of selling as transformational. Transformational selling means that your focus is on helping the person to transform. That means you've got to connect, build rapport, and really nurture the relationship, because that's when the transformation really occurs. It's especially true for coaches or people in the helping industry. I call us transformation experts, because that's what we're selling. We're selling the transformation that our clients seek from us, right? So it goes to everything about the relationship: how you connect, how you create instant rapport, how you show compassion in the relationship, how you nurture the relationship, what you're hearing, how you serve. All of those things really speak to the transformation you help the client deliver when you're coaching them or speaking or training or consulting in some way. It's all about transformation, and that's what you're actually selling.
That makes a lot of sense to me. So you mentioned it. What I kind of heard was a bit of your process, and I might be wrong, but that's what I heard was connecting, rapport, and nurture.
Mm-hmm.
And so are there better ways for us to be, like, how, I know connection is important, but how do we connect more deeply when we're in a society where everything is so surface?
Yeah, I think that what you have to do is practice client attraction and client engagement.
Okay.
So it's not just enough to be in the spaces and places where you're going to connect with your clients. It's also about making sure that you are engaging with your clients, because clients want to work with you. And when I say you, I'm talking to coaches or people, like I said, that I call transformation experts. So when a client is interested in working with you, they've gotten to know, like, and trust you, but they've also gotten to experience you. So that experience of you really gives them a sense of what it's like to engage with you. I think about all of the social media platforms that we stay on during the course of any given day or week. And instead of posting, instead of trying to be visible, if you think about how you connect with a client and how you engage with them on the content you're sharing. It's a very different way of looking at being visible, being, standing in marketing. And it's also a different way of actually connecting to sell, because selling isn't your goal, service is. Selling isn't your goal. Transformation is the goal, connection, nurturing. It's really about creating the relationship that makes the difference when they're ready to buy.
Okay. So what I think I heard is that the intention for the posting is not necessarily to be seen, but more as an opportunity to engage in a conversation with the people you may be connected to on social media. Is that correct?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. It's a combination of client attraction and client engagement. The more people get to experience what it's like to be around you, what your philosophy is, what your isms are, as I say, whatever those catchphrases are, the more people see that, the more people experience that, the more people hear and see that, it just makes a world of difference in their knowing of what you can do to support them. The best example I can give, Velma, is I love Clubhouse. Like it's my jam, as I say. My 31-year-old son will say, "Mom, don't say that," but it's my jam. And the reason it's my jam is because I get to go on Clubhouse. I open a room and I pour into people. That's kind of how I see it. So I'm there, and I'm in the space where I'm attracting transformation experts who are my most ideal clients, and I'm giving them an experience of me. Because I've done it so consistently over the last couple of months, I have regulars who tune into my rooms, who join my rooms. And what they say is, I know when you open a room, when you start a room, there's going to be a lot of value that you're going to give. And I've gotten clients from Clubhouse as a result. So I'm attracting them, I'm engaging them, I'm nurturing the relationship. And based on that, I convert them to become clients.
So that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I know one of the things that Terri teaches is how important it is to give and to educate. And that is how you pour into the people that are around you, whether they're going to become a client or not. It's still an opportunity to contribute to the transformation.
Yeah, that's not the goal. Them becoming the client isn't the goal. Because most of the time, wherever I am on social media, I'm thinking, how can I serve? How can I pour into people? How can I add value? And, the rest follows. Like if somebody says, oh, well, I really want to talk to you about being my coach, then the door is open and I share that. Every so often, I even make an offer, and I see offer and invitation as synonymous. After someone has experienced me and what I offer, and I think this is true for everyone, there's an interest in how they can be served by you. So you need to at least make an invitation. You need to at least make an offer as part of the visibility that you're out there doing. Not every post, not every time, not always when you're adding value. What you're doing is you're understanding that there's an opportunity to serve the person more by inviting them to enroll in a program, right? And when you invite them to enroll in a program, that's part of the transformational selling as well, because you're not going straight to the transaction. You're painting the picture of the transformation your program offers, and an invitation is required to do that.
Well, and that makes a lot of sense. Like I know I'm like you in that, my heart is to contribute. My heart is to make a difference. My heart is to give. And so what I'm hearing is your transformational selling leads with exactly who I choose to be. And if I'm always leading with that, then like you said, the rest will follow. So you mentioned something, and I'm kind of curious. You mentioned isms. What's an ism?
Well, I kind of call it, for me, it's a WendyY ism. It's sort of my way of thinking, my way of saying certain things, my way of, it's an ism. It is unique to me, just like, isms are unique to the folks who are listening and watching. Those are isms, and you get to play on those. You get to, expound on those isms because they're what make you unique in the marketplace. One of the isms, if you will, is a catchphrase that I started using several years ago. I want to say it was like in 2007, 2008. I charge for that. Those are four of the most powerful words in selling, not because of the exact words I charge for that. It's the spirit of those words, because as coaches, as transformation folk, we want to give so much. And so many of the people that I talk to haven't quite figured out how to be authentic and sell, be genuine and sell, because they're stuck on the giving, right? They think that it doesn't include the invitation or the offer. And so one of my isms is also a catchphrase for me. I charge for that, right? It's understanding the spirit of those words so that you can extend the offer, so that you can make the invitation when it's appropriate, when the time is right. Quick story, Velma. I'm connected with someone that I met on Clubhouse, and I happened to see that she had opened a room. And I said, well, let me go see what she's talking about in her room. And, in her room, she was trying to decide on a list of topics that people wanted to hear, and she wanted to open rooms for. And, after she talked for a while, she invited me up to the stage, and I was part of the dialogue. And as a business and sales coach, my question was, when do you invite them from Clubhouse to actually enroll in a program with you? Because you can't give them everything on Clubhouse. You've got to be able to shift gears and say, here's what I can give you on Clubhouse. And if you want more, this is how you go to get it. And, I think too many people in the transformation space forget that. They're like, oh, yes, I want to do every topic under the sun in Clubhouse or on Instagram or on Facebook or LinkedIn. And at some point, you've got to make an offer. You've got to extend an invitation. The other story that I tell people is, so that's the spirit of I charge for that. The other thing that I make sure I share with people is when I was first in my coaching business, I came straight out of corporate America into my coaching business full time. And as a single mom of an 11-year-old back then, I was responsible for keeping a roof over our heads, with indoor plumbing and hot dogs on the table. So for me, giving had to translate into an invitation or an offer. And that's how I built my business over the years.
It makes a lot of sense, again, because if we're in the business of transformation and we don't make an offer, we're actually not transforming.
Yep. It's a disservice to the client that you're working with. It's totally a disservice, because when people are genuinely connecting to the message, your message is resonating with people. They want more than just that message you're giving them in whatever format. They want more than a post. They want more than a video. They want more than whatever you're sharing on a podcast, whatever it is, wherever the platform is. And the only way they're going to get that is when you have a program or a service that you can then invite them to. You've engaged them. Now it's time to enroll them into your program and services. So you do them a disservice. If you don't make an offer, it's a disservice to them.
And an opportunity for you as an individual to look at what's missing that I keep choosing not to present the offer.
Yeah, we definitely work on that in my coaching with my clients, because they don't know how to make the transition, because they're so used to hearing and seeing the transaction instead of what the relationship looks like when you shift into the invitation and the offer. When you are looking less at the transaction and more at the transition into the next phase of the transformation, you're in so much of a better position because you're now responsible for and helping the client move into a commitment, move into integrity about what they say they really and truly want. You're helping them overcome any fears that surface. All of that is really coaching, right? All of that is coaching. It's so not about that transaction. That's going to happen, right? And some people that I coach need me to give them the language around the transaction, and I can do that. But what I really like for folks to do is understand that they're always selling, they're always coaching. And when you think about selling in that way, that's when you really understand what the transformation really means.
Beautiful. Beautiful. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. And when we come back, I want you to be able to share what the best way for our listeners to connect to you is.
Sounds great.
Hey there, it's Terri Levine. I just wanted to pop in for just a moment as you're listening here to Heartpreneur Radio and watching Heartpreneur TV. We have so many new and exciting things going on. So you can watch a free masterclass. Highly recommend to get a conveyor belt of qualified prospects. That's at TL, like Terri Levine, tlwebinar.com. Head over there, enjoy it, keep listening and sharing the show.
We are back with Heartpreneur Radio and TV with my guest, WendyY Bailey. And WendyY, can you share with our listeners what's the best way to connect to you? I mean, I did hear Clubhouse.
Well, and I'm WendyY Bailey on all platforms. So LinkedIn is a great place to catch me. You can catch me on Facebook and YouTube. I'm everywhere, WendyY Bailey. Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. WendyY Bailey is where you'll find me.
Okay. And we have to remember to include the Y.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. So the other couple of things that you talked about in the process that I heard was rapport and nurture. Rapport, I mean, that one's building the relationship with your potential clients, with your target market, and nurturing would be kind of like rapport, but more individual. Am I understanding that correct?
Well, the way that I see nurture, to stay in contact, to communicate, to be compassionate, to care about what's happening, to let the clients know that you get them. Like you see them, you understand their world, you understand, their aspirations, you understand, what challenges they may be facing. In order to nurture a relationship, you have to be present and you have to care. And what I teach and coach on is when you're nurturing, it's about staying in communication. It's about moving people from their temporary residences with you, your social media platforms, to permanent residences with you, your email list. So in order to move them in that way, it can't just be about here's the download that I promised you. It has to be about, this is something that I've committed to share with you that I know is going to help you. And based on it helping you, I'm going to continue to communicate with you because there are things that I see about your challenges that I want to let you know that I can support you. There's value that I'm going to add in my communications that will serve you even more than just that download. So it's about continuing the communication, transition first, and then continuing that conversation in a way that says, I really do care. This is stuff that's really going to help you. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know if you're interested in sharing more about where you are. Here are some opportunities to connect with me. All of that happens in your email communications, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So nurturing means on your email list, you're creating more conversation and dialogue and adding value every step of the way.
So it's kind of cool because what I thought I heard, like when it comes to connect, rapport, and nurture, is connect is like we're at the same party. Rapport is like we're acquaintances.
Mm-hmm. We had a
And
conversation at the party.
yeah. So now we're acquainted with each other, and we're building some more acquaintance with each other. And the nurture would be almost like taking them to the friend level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to reach out to you every so often and see how you're doing. I'm going to send something your way that I think will be of value to you. I'm going to ask you and invite you and offer, because that's part of how I can support you. Yes, all of that. Relationships, and here's the piece that's more important than anything. Relationships are everything when you're in the transformation business.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just throw things at people. You have to engage with people. You have to, focus on building trust. You're building a bond, and they see that because of how you offer opportunities to experience what you do for people and how you can help them. They see you based on those invitations and the offers that you express. They see you and all that you do. One of the things I hear a lot from people is, because I've been so in the marketplace for such a long time, I hear from people, I know Dr. Terri gets this too. Wow, thank you so much. I've seen you grow. I've seen you stay consistent in this space, and I'm just so happy you're still here and adding value the way that you are. I think that over time, consistency over time can really make the difference in a successful business, because people still see you. They still know you see them. People recognize what you're there to do in terms of service. So,
And I agree, because then like me as a prospect, I guess we'll use that word. I know
not
that
my favorite way. Ideal client is the way that I put it.
ideal client. Okay. I like that better too. Terri calls them client family members when they actually come into it. So as an ideal client, it would make me feel far more comfortable and secure that what you offer is not just platitudes. It's actually something that I'm actually going to get value from. There's going to be consistency. It's proven, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think that, what is the Maya Angelou quote that says, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. That's kind of what I mean. People are watching you in the marketplace. They want to see, your good days, your bad days. And social media has made it easy for them to see everything, like every little hair out of place, every little flaw that you may potentially have. But the reality is, you get to manage the flow of information. You get to manage it and sort of paint the picture and shape of your integrity, of your, authenticity. You get to paint the picture of that in everything that you do. And that's what marketing and visibility is all about. And that's really what leads to transformational selling as well. It's standing in a place of authenticity, integrity, and consistency. A few days ago, I say a few days ago, but it's actually been a couple of weeks ago, help you to thrive in your business. And I was trying to remember what I called them. Currency is what I call them. So when you look at currency, consistency is currency. Relationships are everything, they're currency. Communication is currency. Commitment is currency. Reinvention, rebranding, reimagining your business, repurposing things within your business, those are all currency. And if you begin to master those things, what happens is you can start to see the impact over time on your bottom line. Predictable income, residual income, returning clients, referrals, affiliates who support your business. There's a lot that goes into the currencies that I mentioned, but the reality is to make sure that you are always in a space where you recognize that these things are currency, so that you leverage them in a way that allows you to continue to give and pour and, attract, engage, and, convert your clients and serve them that much more.
Hmm. I like that, because what I'm hearing is that when we take those various forms of currency and invest them into those ideal clients, even some of the not quite ideal clients, it's still an investment, and it has a way of growing and expanding because we have invested it. And it also points to why it's important to invest in your ideal clients, because if I'm going and investing in people who really will not receive value from whatever it is that I offer, that's like putting my money into the wrong investment for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it when people who have not actually invested, as in bought anything from me, refer me to other people that they think will benefit from what I do and how I serve. That says a lot to me about what I'm doing in the marketplace and how I'm showing up in integrity and authenticity, and what it means for people and how it looks for people. The thing that I really want folks to hear from all of this is it starts with you. It's looking at, you said in my introduction, it's about putting your mindset in your marketing. There's an adage that says marketing gets you known and sales gets you paid. Marketing gets you known and sales gets you paid. But if you put, and if you put your mindset, the right, spur client attraction, your marketing efforts will really engage clients in a way that they get to know, like, trust, and experience you. Then you can actually shift to the selling piece where you're going to get paid and they're going to get paid. It's a win-win. You're exchanging services for payment, compensation, as you should. Okay. And then based on that, people just continue to work with you. They want to continue to work with you. They know what you offer. They want to plug into that.
Mm-hmm. And I think the authenticity is so important, because I think on a lot of our social media, what we're seeing is not the truth. And I think when we take the time to be authentic, show like the whole of ourselves and not just, the good days, it actually creates a stronger opportunity for connection, because my ideal clients that it's okay that they're not 100%
Perfect.
all the time too.
Yeah. People want to see flaws. They want to see, messiness to some degree. They want to know that you're human, right? And you do that by sharing those days when things aren't going so well. I was looking in Facebook memories, and I had a really bad day. It was a day where I just didn't feel like I liked what I was doing. And something had happened. I didn't disclose what had happened, but I did express how I was feeling. I think people need to know, when everything's not rosy. Being an entrepreneur over more than 19 years has not all been roses. There have been times where there's adversity. And, my expression is adversity makes you a master problem solver. The more problems you solve, the more adversity you face, the more problems you solve, and you get really good at problem solving, right? And what it does is it sort of toughens you up, it thickens your skin and helps you to sort of weather whatever comes your way. I can honestly say that resilience is a currency as well. The ability to bounce back from whatever sort of knocks you over whenever it knocks you over. It's definitely a currency. Resilience is currency.
I think that when we try too hard to make our presence perfect, we're not going to move past the connect. It's not going to move into rapport and nurture. We're only going to stay at connect.
Okay. Part of being able to trust the people that you're connecting with is seeing that everything isn't always perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a colleague of mine posted in the middle of launching a new magazine, and a number of other different really high level projects that she was engaged in. Somebody hacked her website and it was shut down. It didn't stop her from selling, thousands of books. It didn't stop her from getting the word out about her magazine. And so that's what she posted about. She was like, okay, so my website got hacked and has been down all day, but I still did these 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important for people to see how you weather the storms that come your way
Yeah.
as well.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we've come to the end of our time. WendyY, can you share once again the best way for our listeners to be able to connect with you?
Sure. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey across all social media platforms. You can go to my website and check me out at businessbeyondlimits.com. That's businessbeyondlimits.com. Thank you so much for having me, Velma.
This was awesome. I learned a lot. I connected a lot of dots. It was fantastic. So yes, I'm looking forward to connecting with you more on social media. So
Great.
Thank you so much to our listeners for coming and joining us. I hope you found value in this. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and we always love those 5-star reviews. And don't forget to head over to Facebook and look for Heartrepreneurs with Terri Levine so you can connect with more heart-based business owners like Terri, myself, and WendyY. You are absolutely heart-based. This was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. The pleasure was all mine.
And we will see you next week.
You've been listening to Heartrepreneur Radio, maximizing your personal and business results by leading with your heart with your host, Terri Levine. This show is produced every week for your enjoyment and education. To make sure you never miss a single show, add us to your favorite RSS feed or subscribe in iTunes. You can also read Terri's latest blog posts at www.heartrepreneur.com/blog, or follow Terri on Twitter at MentorTerri and on Facebook.com/Heartrepreneur Terri Levine. Your questions and comments are always welcome and appreciated. Send them to Terri on either Facebook or Twitter. Thank you for listening.